This is the new Mercedes E-Klasse Convertible, and here the first time it's been displayed at Geneva Motor Show 2017. And we have already have full reviews in Autogefühl here with Thomas with a lot of different E-Klasse versions, sedan, estate, or T-model in Germany, also the coupe. It's coming very soon, and if you're watching this episode later, it's already online then for sure. And the convertible we will drive in summer, but here the first static presentation. As the coupe, the convertible will also come in avant-garde or in an AMG line trim level. And special here thing is this diamond pin grille. My favorite Mercedes grille. It looks very three-dimensional, very attractive. The AMG line has this shiny surface in the diamond pin grille, and the avant-garde line also has the same structure, but has a black finish on the top part. So the AMG line in this case looks better, but Mercedes has this rule that the sedan version you can really pick to combine exterior and interior trim. Here with coupe and convertible you are bound. If you pick the AMG outside, you have to go for the inside, other way around, and also with the avant-garde trim level. 17-inch it will start, 19 then with AMG, and this one here 20-inch, the optional ones. At least they're a little bit protected by the tire lip, that's good. And if we take a better look at the side profile, a pretty simplistic and clean design. 4.82 m or 15'8" is the total length, and that means it is about 10 centimeters, 12 centimeters longer than the predecessor version, but the same length shorter, so 10 centimeters shorter than the sedan. So the coupe and the convertible a little bit shorter than the sedan or the estate model of the E-Klasse. And what is really remarkable that they're really enough to have very few design lines here. See it right here, just very central design line here, dividing in light and shadow, forming those strong shoulders there. And there's not so much playing around with the design, and I think that's very good to have a clean but yet central design. Here at the moment, as the roof is being opened, it will take 20 seconds, the roof process, and it will also be available in different colors: red, black, blue, and also in brown. This one here, we can already take a look at the interior. At the moment, the full animal skin spec. But the good thing about the E-Klasse coupe and convertible, also the other E-Klasse, is you can get those ones here, for example, with fabric on the inside and leatherette on the outside in the avant-garde trim, and in Dinamica microfiber on the inside and leatherette on the outside in the AMG trim. So this is, the trim levels you can pick, and a lot of good choices Mercedes is offering there. But sadly, here on the motor show cars, they always think they have to go for the most expensive option, but at least Autogefühl is here to tell you also the other options you do have. In general, a very central layout again on the interior. Mercedes is not about boring interiors, not about the, let's say, cleanest one, the ones that are the easiest to understand, but the interiors that try to evoke the most emotions. And I think especially if you look at those central vents, they use special vents for the coupe and the convertible, in a little bit different than in the normal E-Klasse versions. But the general interior layout is of course similar as in other E-Klasse versions, with this central purity design overlapping right here and going in those curved ways. Very beautifully and spectacularly done. Here the vents, they also can be closed like this or opened like this and are held like in a, like in a flying bubble or so. It's really interesting how they've managed that. So, and also high-class interior build quality, also from the buttons. The convertible then receives this extra button here to open and close the roof. And also unique feature for the convertible is that you have the different systems to keep you warm inside. And that is, first of all, is it the air scarf, the neck heater that is always coming wind out of here. It's an optional feature you can get, and well, the use is pretty limited, because when it's very cold you're wearing a big jacket anyway, and when it's very hot you do not need it, and so with a jacket your neck is covered. So it's really something for a transition, like in spring or in autumn. And then the second technology is the so-called air cap. We already had that in the Mercedes C-Class convertible, and it's coming out in the front here. So it's flipping up like a wing in the front, and then the airstream is directed over the car that it flows over the passengers. Also, this small wind deflector rises just a little bit, and then is, reducing the wind turbulence here for the rear passengers. You also see that here there's no opening for a standard wind deflector, and we did test it in the C-Class convertible earlier. You can also check the full review of the Mercedes C-Class convertible on Autogefühl. It's a really great review, I can promise you, will be worthwhile watching. And there we also asked, well, is there another option? Because I felt that a classic wind deflector going like this, has more effect than this. Well, this air cap system is handy if you want to switch passengers. Then again, the Porsche 911 had a good solution to flip out the wind cut from here. But that's then again hardly possible if you have head restraints on the rear. But I still think if you want two persons and have the best protection against wind, get the classic wind deflector. At the C-Class convertible, it was available. Then there would be two holes right here. And then you can also fit a classic wind deflector. So I guess it will also be available for an E-Class convertible. You just have to ask your dealer. I would prefer the classic deflector in comparison to, or Windshot we call in Germany, in comparison to the other normal system. Well, not normal, to the other optional system. The air scarf and the air cap is, by the way, available in a package. It's a comfort package, I think 3,000 euros or something, so they're combined. Here you can set the seat at the inside of the doors. We also have the ambient lighting. In the E-Class Coupe review, we also talk about the ambient lighting, show you that one at night, switch around the colors. Here it's this very, not that good that light here for the motor show, so we cannot see it that well, but we can see the rest of the interior, and it's a very comfortable seating position. And now we have organized the key for this car. There it goes, there is the key. Here's the very slim and beautiful key that the new E-Class generation is receiving here in the E400 diamond white. And if we turn on the ignition, then we can also open and close the roof. By the way, also all four windows can be put up or down with this button here. But let's first close the roof. So, and here we go. Of course, it's a very huge roof. And they've also worked on the insulation on the roof. And also the new outer line will be more coupe-alike than the predecessor version. And I want to hear your opinion. You think it's very beautiful and also interesting here, headroom-wise. I'm wondering it's 86 or 6+1. Wow, and there's a lot of headroom left. And it will also be, of course, interesting. Can I actually still fit in the rear seats while the roof is down? You see here it's a good function that the seat is sliding forward automatically. Very interesting. And then I can get inside. And we were already surprised with the coupe that it's really one for 4 persons. And here, headroom-wise, well, it's a little bit less than with... Oh, no, now I'm getting squished a little bit. There it goes. So it does actually work to fit an adult in here. I'm touching the seating with my hands now, so a little bit less room than in the coupe. But still, this one is a convertible you can actually ride with 4 adults. The car comes standard with those analog instruments, but those ones we see here, those ones are the digital ones. And you can also flip them around, for example. Here, this left button at the steering wheel, there you can control stuff and also change, for example, the graphics or what do you want to have, or GPS info. But those ones always optional digital instruments. And also the left screen, it starts with a smaller screen, so analog instruments plus smaller screen would be the entry. And then optionally you can get those 2 12.3-inch screen. And this one is of course really massive. And see, also collecting a lot of photographs, for example. Yeah, it's okay. Then we go to the main screen, for example. It's using the good visualizations. This is the main screen. You can control it with the central turning knob, but also with the, there it is, turning and pressing knob. I can also go to the GPS, for example. Here we go. We're in Geneva. So it's a pretty interesting screen. There's also satellite view available, but you can also control it here with your right thumb. that you can go here to the steering wheel and then, for example, zoom in and out. So you can control both screens from the steering wheel. And also here, good build quality with those aluminum knobs. Just here, you know, we have a shiny black surface that looks not that well when it's getting dusty. We had in the E400 Coupe, we had a matte wood style. That was more pleasing and also more handy because it doesn't collect so much fingerprints. Here you would connect your phone via USB port. If you just want to charge your phone but not connect it, for example with the optional Apple CarPlay, then you could just go right here, because in the middle armrest there are also two more USB supplies just to charge your phone then. And here you can also see the ambient light. It is also surrounding the two huge optional displays. And now another look when the roof is closed. And well, in the interior, it's special that they got a light on the inside of the roof. Special here with the AMG line is that we got this matte aluminum right here. And in the Avantgarde line it would be in chrome. This one here a little sportier look. But to me the very special thing is that we got a rather flat roofline. You see, we had enough of headroom on the inside, but still design went in the direction that the roof is flatter on the outside and more aligned, so it looks more like the Coupe than if you compare, for example, the predecessor versions. And finally, also the rear. All the Mercedes, the current convertibles and coupes have the design schematics of very horizontally drawn taillights, in contrast to the sedans, which are more in the vertical layout. This one here also the E400 4MATIC, 333 horsepower with a 3-liter V6 engine, and therefore we also have those bigger exhaust pipes. Well, the very outer part, those ones are just for decorations. The inner part, then, that is the real stuff. And overall, I think the design of this convertible, I think with the Coupe, I like the E-Coupe a little bit more than the C-Coupe, just design-wise. The convertible, I think the C-Coupe looks a little bit more elegant because this one is already, of course, a huge car. But what's your opinion, your take on this? And compare it also to the C-Class convertible review. Here we can flip the trunk and it goes up to 380 liters, especially if you move here. You can also remove the seats right there, and here with the button, with the open and closing button, you can also enlarge it when the roof is being closed. Well, it is reasonable space for a convertible, but in this case the Audi A5 is leading it, because the A5 is a mid-size segment but still has the same trunk capacity as the convertible from Mercedes that is one segment above. So trunk-wise, definitely Mercedes can learn from Audi, but other way around, Audi can learn from Mercedes in offering, for example, other seat surfaces which are also more sustainable on the interior. So, you know, best is to combine both worlds. Then here, some more space below that, not too much. I think you can very well use it also when the roof is down, at least going 2 people maybe for a weekend trip, or maybe also a week going to the airport. That will surely work. And you can also flip the seats. Let's see if we do not damage anyone. Yeah, I think that should work if we flip the seats right here. So on the left side we have some help, and also on the right side you can release those seats, and if we then go around we can also flip them. And if you maybe want to go to IKEA and get some furniture, that could theoretically still work with the convertible. Here you see there's a half split right in there, half, and here we go. Hey, Autogefühl fans. So this one would be the loading through mechanism, or if you want to put a bag on here and maybe want to take care of your seats. And let's take a look under the hood here. This one here, the E400 V6 engine, 333 horsepower. It was updated. It was 3.5 liter before, then a little bit less displacement now, but also bi-turbo charge like the E43. The E43 would be the engine above that, but that won't be available for the convertible. Also for the Coupe, we await a E50, something in between an E43 and an E63. Also, when you think of lower spec engines, there will be 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol and diesel engines available, just like in the E-Class sedan. Just this one, especially in the US, will start with the E400, same with the Coupe. Especially in the US, they think big, you know. Last information, by the way, headlights will be standard LED, but not the top, the multi-beam LED. That one is still optional for the high beam. And that leads over to our conclusion. A very beautiful convertible for sure, but already a massive one. So if you want a sportier ride, stay with the C-Class convertible. This one here, important if you really want to drive with 4 adults, open or also closed top. That is both possible. Good luxury equipment inside and also good choice of surface materials in general. Check the offerings in your market each. Great build quality, of course very high prices we await. So yeah, 50,000-60,000 you can surely account for your convertible at least. I mean, you can always score it with the C convertible if you book high spec, but of course a C convertible will be cheaper. Also check out, as soon as it's online, the E-Klasse Coupe review, the full driving review, because this one will be pretty much similar. And then this one here will drive for you again in summer, so stay tuned on Autogefühl.